Hi everyone, welcome. I'm here. Let's see, this video will be for the 28th. It is Bourbon Creek Crafts hashtag Use It Up 2020, where we were supposed to pick something to use it up in the month of January, and then we'll do one each month. So it's a kind of an informal collab challenge. But I decided to join along, and when I first decided to do it, I just thought it was, I forgot it was, you had to pick something, so I thought it was like tracking your empties. So I started this bin, and throughout the month I've been keeping track of empties. Well, that's not what it was all about. You were supposed to pick something else. So I had to work on a collab that I had said I would join, which is Heather's Handmade Haven, I think her channel name is. She's doing an all-American stash bash, and January was Valentine's, and we post on the last day of the month it's cards, and on the 10th of the month is tags. But I missed those. I missed the tags. I didn't miss the end of the month. So I pulled out this paper pad. Now, you've seen this before if you watched my project share for Charlene's Crafty World. I had used this to make her memory decks card and bag toppers. So it was not a complete pad, and I thought, well, since I'm already working in this for Heather's, which I did first, why don't I just try and finish it up? So I have spent today, which is actually Monday the 27th, well, part of it, most of it actually, working on these two collab challenges. So let me just show you a quick glance of Heather's, and I'll go into more detail on those on the 31st. Yeah, sorry. So I did for Heather's. Oh, and before I do that, this is what I have left. I have some cut aparts, but they're really lovey ones except for one or two, and I didn't feel comfortable using them. And then as far as the paper itself, there's just a few bits that honestly will probably go in the trash. And that's not from just Heather's stuff, but from all the other stuff I'm going to show you in a minute. So I have this left, and this left, and this, and this, which was a pieced together thing that, if you can see, I made a memory decks card out of. And the rest of it is, I think, all cut aparts. There might be a few tiny little bits of paper in there too. I don't know. Anyway, to me, this paper pad is done, and honestly, some of these cut aparts will either be used on some little cards I'm going to show you soon, or they will go in the pocket letter gifted. Okay, so that's that. So let me start real quick. All right, so these are the cards I made for Heather's challenge, and these are the tags, and I'm gonna shush them away because I'll show you them in more detail. So the first thing I made was, I had I think it was 5 sheets of paper left. Maybe it was 6. I can't remember now. Well, I can tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I guess it was 8 sheets of paper I had left. Yeah, 8 sheets of paper. But it's 6 by 6, and you need 2.5 by 3.5. So you can only get 2 out of 1 sheet of paper, and then you're left with a 2.5-inch square and a long strip. So I'll show you what I do with those in a little bit. But and I know this is blank in the middle. That's going to be a shaker. So I just haven't finished it yet, and I don't want to share everything. Let me move that light up a little so it's not so glary. So, oh, here's where I finished that ribbon. There, and up here, which you can't see. That was this ribbon that I just had about this much left. and it's sort of stretchy, so it's stretched out, that I had used in the, I think it was my Smash the Paper small paper pad, but don't hold me to that. Some other challenge. So that is going in my empties. Also, I finished this. This was the gold washi tape here, and just one strip here. And that's all that was left, except I thought, oh yeah, there's this one little bit, but that actually has the brown on the back, and I'm going to put that in my book that shows the washi tapes emptied. And then these two enamel stickers, these were enamel. They were used on the second pocket letter. I'll show you in a minute. And then these were bling stickers for Valentine's Day, and they were red and clear. And then I did bring in another pack, which is not finished yet, which is pink, but I used some of those too. All right, so let me show you now. I'll just show you the pocket letters. And I don't have anything in the back yet because I got to get the shaker done first, and then I'm going to load the backs up or put a goodie bag with it after I get the shakers done. And I have to figure out what I'm doing on the side. But I did decorate all the pockets with mostly washies. These are felt hearts I used quite a few of, cut aparts. This little envelope I made, I actually made two of them, and you'll see one on a memory dex. This is from the dies that went with this Sealed with Love. It's retired Stampin' Up. And they were called Love Notes Framelits dies. I will not ever be getting rid of those. Those I bought before I became a demonstrator along with this, and I love that little envelope and that little envelope, and I used them both. I also used this, which I'll show you later. This is an insert that goes in here, so is this. And I use this little heart in a couple places, and this little thing of hearts, which goes on top of this little paper. Anyway, I digress. So that's where that, oh, and there are those little hearts, which I stickled up. I don't use stickles as much as I used to. This is Neon Flamingo, which I've had in my stash. And the little envelope, the little piece comes out, and it's just a scrap of that paper. And the hearts, oh, and this is Melon Mambo by Stampin' Up, cardstock scrap. I used that in a couple places because it looked like it went with it. So I just put stickles on the hearts after I die cut them. I put stickles around, and then this is that ribbon that I finished. And I do have pink washi on here. I pulled out a lot of washies, and I have no clue which ones are from where, so I'm not even gonna yank them all out or anything. Another felt heart. Here's some of the clear bling. This is up on Dimensionals. It's a cut apart. A white felt heart. This is a cut apart. This ribbon I did not finish. Was also from Tuesday Morning. It's Simplicity, and it has hearts on it. I used two little bits of it on one on each pocket letter, I believe. And then down here, now these two pieces had a round thing and a saying in the middle. And I cut that into pieces, and then I used more of it on the pocket letter, and that's that piece that's left here that I said I'll probably end up trashing. This is a cut apart. It says Smile, and I just stuck one of the little red bling hearts in. This was a cut apart, but I cut the heart out of it. This was left over from making a card on the I think it was in my sticker, Stick Your Side of Crafting collab. And this was left over from something too. They're out of the Be Mine Stitched Hearts dies from Stampin' Up, which are still available. And then this is a cut apart with a different washi going across this way. This is on the paper, and then the lace trim. So that's the first one. And then the second one had more black in it. The other one was all mostly red, pink, and white. Here's the other little envelope from Stampin' Up, and that little piece is part of the dies also. And then I put one of the pink enamel dots on. And this I had one little square of the gold and white paper that looked like this, and it had one full heart with an X and one full heart with an O. So I hand cut them out and used them on here. This is a felt heart again, and then this is the washi that I finished. This has this gold, it's not stickles, but it's like it. Studio G, I think is from Walmart. Gold glitter glue. This was a die cut heart that I had cut out of the really dark, where did I put those papers that were left? Here. There was this really dark red, and it didn't really go with anything. So what I did is I put the washies, different washies over it, and then I got the die punch back out. I put washi over it, I stuck it onto another scrap of paper, then I got the punch back out and I re-punched it because I couldn't cut around all those scallops by hand. It just wouldn't have worked, and that worked out pretty well. And then I have a different piece of washi with the pink and gold hearts here. And then this is a cut apart with a little pink raffia and one of the red enamel dots from Recollections that I finished. Okay, this one has pink with red dot washi here, foam heart, a little bit of that lace, another foam heart. And then this was a cut apart, but I backed it on a scrap of black. It says, "You are phenomenal." Phenomenal. And there was a little phone up here. That's why I used that one there. Then in the middle, this is two parts of a doily, red heart doily. This is from Michael's also. I'm still not finished it though. 2 bits of red trim. Not hashtag favorite, besties, foam heart cut in half, 2 red enamel dots on. Boom, that one's done. And then on the bottom, this was punched out of Melon Mambo. Another piece of that same pink with red dot washi. The lace trim. This is a cut apart. It says, "You are just my type." And then 2 different color enamel hearts. Oh my god, cat hair. This was a scrap I had left, and I put this pink ribbon from Dollar Tree around it, pink with red hearts. Then this was a cut apart, and I bumped it up on dimensionals. I think actually, nope, that one's dimensionals. One of them, maybe it's in something else. I have something on a foam tape. And then this is a foam heart. And then I went around, this is that black and white straight paper, and I went around it with the Studio G also. And then here, the background paper is the XOXO. I had a little scrap of this black and white. That's from the stickier side of crafting. I used that paper for cards. 2 more enamel dots. I think that finished them on a white felt foam heart sticker. And then this is a cut apart with a little bit of the hot pink raffia again. So those are the 2 pocket letters, almost complete. Then after those, I immediately did, if I can figure out what I did with them. Okay, hang on. 2 memory decks cards because I need them for challenges. So let's see, which one I did this one first. I took 2 of the 2.5-inch squares and stuck them side by side. And then this was a long strip I had. I actually put that down first, then the squares, and then I had another little piece of this paper I just put at the top. Oh, this is a die. I actually had found these not long ago, Heidi Swap. I originally had these, but these actually are meant to be the tabs to divide your memory decks, and these are actually the memory decks cards. They're all by Heidi Swap. These I think I got from scrapbook.com, and these I had bought from Jimmy Lanny Creations a while back. And here's the other little envelope. I had actually cut this one first, but it's out of that darker red paper, and I didn't like it with the pocket letter. So on this one, I just put another cut apart in. It's tacked down with a glue dot, so I'm not going to pull it out. Oh, and then after I did the papers, I put this lace, the last bit of lace trim I had down from that roll, washi tape over it to kind of hide the seam and the top of the lace. This was out of another collection I have in my stash, and I don't remember the collection name, but I didn't use anything else from that collection. And then a white foam heart. Oh yes, I did. I used this XOXO. It's a word sticker out of that same, I think, collection. Anyway, but it's a different shade, so I went and put the stickles around it just to make it sparkle a little bit. Pink raffia. This is part of this pearl chain I have left. This much left. I couldn't finish it. Yikes. Anyway, not crazy about that there, but I'm going to leave it there now. It's glued down. So that's that. And this is actually an index card, and I put everything on the lined part. So what I did on this one, okay, so what I did with this one is I actually cut the index card first, then I glued the papers down, then I had to figure out how am I going to get the shape right, especially here. So got the die back out, laid it over again, and ran it through the die again, and it got, not quite exactly, but pretty close. So I said, I'm not going to do that again. So I glued everything onto the index card, and then I cut it out the second time. This was the upper corners of that paper that had those circles on it. The big circle, it was like a 6-inch circle, and it had words in the middle, but I didn't use those. And then these were scraps of paper. Underneath here, I used that dark red washi. I was so trying to use it all up, but I have just a tad left. Yikes. I will be using that, finishing that soon. Some of the heart lace that I had gotten Tuesday morning from Simplicity. 2 cut aparts. And this is a gold brad from Stampin' Up! Believe they're in the annual catalog, at least through May. And then 3 blings. Now those I had to start using this pack because I didn't have any more in the other pack. And I think that came out cute. They both did. They're not as pretty as I'd like. Oh, and I do have a little bit of this ribbon here. That is off this, oops, sorry, everything's tangled up here. That is off this roll that you used to be able to get these adhesive ribbons from Michael's. Yeah, I don't think they're there anymore. Those used to be in like the $1.50 or $2 bin or something. So those are my 2 Memory Dex cards. Then I had all those little 2.5-inch squares left, and I had enough to make 11. Only 11, not 12. 3x3 cards. Because the squares are all 2 3/4 by 2 3. No, that's wrong. 2.5 by 2.5. So I cut backings 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and I had 2 left in the red. Enough paper to make 2 out of the red Recollections, big enough. And the rest I used scraps of basic black to make all the rest. So I had 2 red with black stripe, and I have not decorated these yet. I don't know what I'm going to do. 2 with that paper, 2 with this paper, 2 with this paper, and then I just have one-offs of these 3. So 2, 4, 6, 8 here, and then 9, 10, 11. So those I'll decorate up and use them or gift them or something. And I thought I had 3x3 cards left, but I don't, because I was thinking Stampin' Up! I had to, these are all Whisper White thick that I cut myself. And I do have, however, the envelopes, because Stampin' Up! Sells a pack of 40 3x3 envelopes. So I have 11 envelopes here to go with the cards, undecorated. And then I had strips of paper left, like, what did I do with that? Where did I put the, oh, here. Like, sort of like this one, only wide. Most of them were wider, not all. So I had enough strips to make an A2 card. So I did. I made an A2 card. I put the strips I had on a black, basic black, glued them down. I had to cut a little off the ends. And then this is cut out of that Recollections paper. There was a strip that was just a tad longer than this, and it was perfect. And these are from that Love Notes dies that I showed you earlier. And there's a long strip and it folds up, and I used Wink of Stella on those hearts. Then I used 2 of the scalloped ovals out of the layering ovals by Stampin' Up. I stamped So Lucky to Have a Friend Like You from the Heartfelt Current Stampin' Up stamp set in the mini catalog for 2020. And then these 2 hearts, though, are from the dies that are no longer available, but you could use the Be Mine ones. There's some in there that are small too. And then inside I stamped the Being Friends is Better Than Eating Candy, but let's do that too. That's also in Heartfelt. And that's just Whisper White on basic black with the last wider strip of paper that I had. And that is what I made to finish that paper pad. So I actually, this month, have smashed 2 paper pads. I'm like so proud of myself. I couldn't believe I did that. So yeah, so 2 pocket letters, 2 memory dex cards, 11 3x3s, and 1 A2 card. Finished the Recollections Galentine's Day from 2016. October 2016 it says on here, so I probably got it in 2017. So yeah, so anyway, be sure to come back on the last day of January and I'll have the video up for Heather's Handmade Haven to show you in more detail those. Oh, because I also got, you know, 2 other 6x6 cards and 2 tags out of this as well. Plus I used some of this, like I said, for Charlene's projects that I did, and also for the cards I made for Stickier Side of Crafting. So I've gotten my use out of this. It was not a full 24 sheets, but it had quite a few in it. I think I used 3 for the Stickier Side of Crafting and probably at least 2 for Charlene's stuff. I know I used one like this for Charlene's, maybe just 1 for Charlene's, I can't remember, but anyway. So I used quite a few, because today I used, what I say, about 8 to get all this stuff out of it. So yeah, it was fun, and I hope you enjoyed that. And go check out Beth, and you can find people that are playing along by using hashtag UseItUp2020, and we'll see you next month and see what I use up then. Bye. And also come back on the 1st, because I'll be posting in Crafty Goals with Amalia, and I'll go through everything I used up and how I'm doing with my goals and so forth. Some are good and some not so good. Okay, bye for now. Thank you for watching.